And God bless him for keeping it in 5 minutes. One of our great allies and one of the people who member of an organization leader who consistently fight to good education for everybody, President of the CTA, John Heins. Eric.
This is how we do it.
I was thinking of the guy with all the
Good afternoon, Democrats. My name is Eric Heins. I'm an elementary school teacher and president of the California Teachers Association. And I'm happy to be here with you today representing 325,000 educators in Californian schools and colleges. But before I talk about the chaos in Washington, D.C., I want to take a moment to recognize a true California leader, the Honorable John Burton. John, thank you, not only for the last 8 years as the head of the state Democratic Party, but for your lifetime of service to the people of California. You've always been a fierce and, how shall we say, uniquely eloquent voice for students and working families and the have-nots, and it's been an honor to work with you. As educators, we know how the current federal president's policies are impacting students because we see it. We experience every day in our classrooms. Many of our students are fearful that their family or friends risk being rounded up by ICE and deported. Teachers and counselors are having to reassure them that they are safe at school. Because all students, regardless of their gender, the color of their skin, the language they speak, who they love, or their parents' immigration status, all students should feel safe in our public schools. We know that our students stand to become sicker if they and their parents lose health care. And under the Republican plan, they will lose their health care, but not to worry, because the billionaires will get their tax break. We know that our college students, if we do nothing, are likely to have the pressures of massive student debt increased. And we know that Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, and yes, it's okay to hiss, doesn't know the first thing about public education, but she has spent a lot of money trying to destroy it in Michigan. So far, the Trump-DeVos education agenda is cutting money from public education to fund corporate charter schools and private school vouchers, something California voters have rejected not once, but twice. We can't allow Trump and DeVos to push their failed educational policies on California. We must continue to do what's good for all students, not just white students, not just rich students, but all students. CTA has launched a massive social justice campaign centered around providing a strong, inclusive, safe, and innovative public education system that ensures that all students can succeed, regardless of their zip code. And if you haven't already done so, please stop by the CTA booth and take the pledge for public education. You can sign by going to our website, cta.org. Do it on your phone. The more people who sign the pledge, the louder the message will be to the White House, Betsy DeVos, and her billionaire buddies wanting to impose their agenda on our neighborhood public schools. Oh, and speaking of billionaires who want to privatize our schools, a handful just spent $10 million to buy 2 seats on the LAUSD school board. It was the most expensive school board election in U.S. history. And sadly, the record-breaking amount of money spent on these 2 school board races is not surprising, as the same group of corporate charter special donors spent more than $27 million in state legislative and school board races last year. Public education should be about kids, not profits. I said public education should be about kids, not profits. Our public schools must remain the centers of our communities and not become corporate profit centers. Free public education is a basic civil right. It has been and must remain the great equalizer, and we must resist any effort to privatize our schools. That's why, together with a larger coalition of education, civil rights, and community organizations, we are calling on the Democratic Party to adopt the Kids Not Profits resolution. And we call on our legislature to adopt policies that assure transparency, accountability, and equal access to all students and all public schools. Any school, including privately run corporate charter schools, that get public money must be accountable to parents and taxpayers. Now, more than ever, we must send a strong message to the billionaires, to Donald Trump, to Betsy DeVos, that here in California, we do things the California way, and we won't let them to stop us. It is easy in these times to give way to cynicism, even a little depression over what we see has been happening in Washington, D.C. But I'm not one of those people, because I am an educator who believes, in fact, who knows, that quality public education is the foundation for our democracy. And I have faith, because I live and work in California, a state that will continue to lead the nation. If there is a silver lining to what has happened since November 8th, is that we in California and Americans across the country are awakening to the call of democracy. We are organizing and mobilizing, and we are showing what it means to be active participants in our democracy. From town hall meetings to grassroots protests and voter registration drives, we are answering the call. We must continue to speak out with one voice for quality public education, health care, good jobs, affordable housing, workers' rights, social justice, equity, and equality for all. The resistance is not futile. It is out there. It is in here, working with hundreds of different ways. We must all stand together and lead the charge. Are you ready to lead the charge? Are you ready to resist? Thank you. Thank you, Democrats.